Hey, with us now from Indianapolis, Republican Governor of Indiana, Governor Mike Pence. And here on set, we've got columnist for Bloomberg View, Mark Carlson, James Carville, Andy Serwer, and Ed Rendell here as well. Governor, great to have you with us. Let's start.
Hey, thanks, Joe.
Let's start by talking about what you're doing in Indiana regarding health care. You believe that it could be a blueprint for the rest of the country?
Well, yeah, back in 2008, Indiana introduced what we call the Healthy Indiana Plan, which is an innovative, consumer-driven health care plan that allows people just above our traditional Medicaid program to have what amounts to individual health savings accounts. It encourages people to participate in preventative medicine. It is extraordinarily popular among the enrollees, and we just really believe that this kind of innovation is the natural result of giving states more freedom and more flexibility in a broad range of areas, including health care. And it's been a real success here in Indiana.
Well, what's the great innovation? What's the big idea from your plan that other states haven't done, that other states would be wise to copy?
Well, the big idea is that when you give people more ownership, more responsibility over their own health care choices, they become choosier shoppers. You invariably see people moving from emergency room care to primary care. The other thing we've done in this, too, is that we reimburse physicians at the Medicare rate, not the Medicaid rate. And so the opportunities for access to more primary care in Indiana has been significant. And, you know, at the end of the day, it improves people's lives. It improves their health care. And most experts recognize that the way you bend the cost curve in health care in the long term is by giving more Americans more ownership and more responsibility over their own health care choices.
Governor, is this complementary?
Andy Serwer with Fortune magazine.
Thank you. Governor, is this complementary to Obamacare? How does it connect to Obamacare? I mean, and how much of a repudiation of Obamacare is it?
Well, it's really entirely separate. This was a program that was built in 2008 on top of our traditional Medicaid program. We used revenues from a cigarette tax to say we want to expand coverage, but we want to do it in a way that's built on the principles of personal responsibility and individual freedom. And as I said, we call them these power accounts, which operate just like health savings accounts. People are able to have that first dollar benefit, and whatever they don't spend on an annual basis from their contribution, they can roll over into that savings account for the next year. So there's a great incentive for people to engage in preventative medicine, which is good for them and good for lowering health care costs.
Margaret.
Governor, does this solve the problem that Obamacare tried to solve, which is you need everybody in an insurance pool in order to spread the risk, and that we have a lot of deadbeats in the country, people who can't afford insurance, but also just deadbeats who are waiting to have that first accident and go to the emergency room. They don't want to pay into insurance, so we don't spread the risk, which is a basic principle of insurance.
Well, what this really does, Margaret, is it goes in the direction that I think is different from essentially the one-size-fits-all approach of Obamacare. And it essentially is an example where a state, in our case Indiana, has been able to come up with the kind of innovative program that encourages people to take more ownership in their own health care decisions. They have first dollar benefits. We have a high deductible policy that backs it up, and it's paid for with, as I said, those cigarette tax revenues. But I think the difference here, Margaret, between the approach in the Affordable Care Act and what Indiana's been able to do with the Healthy Indiana Plan is that I personally believe that the answer for a lot of challenges that Washington, D.C. seems incapable of addressing is to give more freedom and more flexibility to states. This is a case where the state of Indiana was able to gain the flexibility and the freedom of a block grant to create an innovative program that is extraordinarily successful, extraordinarily popular among enrollees, and we believe it also is a better solution to lowering the cost of health care and improving services for our people.
So, Governor, while we're on the topic of health care, let's talk about what some people have been doing to your friend and my friend Jeff Flake, claiming that he's, quote, not one of us, that Jeff is not a conservative anymore because he doesn't support the plan to shut down the government to defund Obamacare immediately. even though he supports voting it out eventually. What do you think about those attacks, not only on him, but also you've got Scott Walker, who's also taken this position. Basically, anybody that doesn't want to shut down the government right now is deemed one of them and not a true conservative.
Well, to be honest with you, Joe, I haven't spent a lot of time focusing on the debates in Washington, D.C. My focus has been here in the Hoosier State.
You've got a TV
But I take
there,
your point. Well, let me just say that I think Obamacare is stifling our economy.
Right.
And I think efforts on Capitol Hill to either delay implementation of this or affect the implementation of this are well-founded. There isn't a day that I don't hear from a business here in Indiana that the looming cost of the mandates and the taxes and the regulation of Obamacare are holding them back.
I hear that too, Governor. I'm just asking you, is Jeff Flake a conservative?
You know, I had the opportunity to serve with Senator Flake for 12 years, and he's a great individual and a strong conservative, and I can't say enough good things about my friend. But, you know, I'll leave the Washington debates to Washington. We've got great opportunities here in Indiana, and we're making great progress, proving every day you can balance budgets, improve schools, roads, and cut taxes, Joe. You ought to come out to Indiana. We'll tell you all about it.
Well, okay, and let's see if he can get the Colts back in the playoffs. All right, guys.